Just to dazzle you with a bit of science first off, to compare the intensity of different activities, physiologists use a quantity known as metabolic equivalence, or METs, which is the metabolic rate of an exercise divided by the metabolic rate of resting. Moderate exercise is 3 to 6 METs. Vigorous exercise is anything over 6 METs. Simple, eh? It doesn't matter whether we get this exercise in shorter or longer sessions, it's the total time over a week that counts. Many everyday activities meet these requirements, including walking, which is 3 METs. 150 minutes of moderate exercise each week is recommended. And please do not compare yourself to anyone sprinting past you in a tracksuit and trainers. Such upward comparisons, constantly judging ourselves against people who are fitter than us, can easily turn into feelings of inadequacy because we then form negative expectations of our fitness, and such perceptions have been shown to reduce the benefits of exercise. Never mind anyone else, it's about feeling good, and feeling good about the exercise you are giving yourself. If you do this walk once or twice a week, you can justifiably feel more positive about your own level of fitness. Okay, pep talk over. Let's walk.
So we're going to head north out of Aldi car park. So the river's on our left, heading up the new tarmac path, heading towards Gordon Park. And here you can see the tarmac road bending round to the right. You could go up there and follow the tarmac path along through Gordon Park, or just take this route, which I see Millie's leading the way. She's taking that route, but you could go up there into Gordon Park. So we just go straight along this path until we get to the other end at the Modley Burn, just over the little bridge there. So once over the Modley Burn, we go up and turn left. We're going to cross the river today, but you could actually avoid crossing the river by heading down this little path here. Both paths will lead to the same spot, the viaduct, in a bit. Once over the footbridge, the new green footbridge, turn right and walk along so that the river is now on your right, and Meikle Mill Primary School is on your left. That's the path that you could walk along on the other side of the river. You could walk straight along that path. Whichever path you take, we will be heading up onto the Ellon Viaduct. There is the viaduct. So we just walk up the steps that will appear before you. And straight up those steps there that you can see. Once at the top of the steps, you're going to turn right. But it is worth pausing here a moment, just to have a look at the views that the viaduct affords. And we are now, of course, on the old Formartine and Buchan railway line. Okay, so turning right at the top of the steps, we just carry straight on down there until we drop down towards Station Road. Heading across Station Road on the pedestrian crossing, go up and continue to follow the Formartine and Buchan Way. You're now approaching the old Ellon railway station, by which was placed for the convenience of passengers, the Station Hotel. And you can actually see the old platform where passengers would have alighted. Continuing along, you will see the Hospital Road Council Depot on your right, and just beyond the depot you'll see these railings where you can either walk down the steps or down the ramp. And that heads straight across, down across Hospital Road and up into McDonald Park. You get to McDonald Park here by walking across the pedestrian crossing that will be just appear on your left when you reach the Hospital Road, and walking straight up, so the golf club is on your left, straight into the woods. And just whilst we're walking through these woods, might be a good time to point out that several studies over the past decade have found that being in woodland can lead to a relaxed and healthy well-being, both physically and mentally, and can even reduce blood levels of the stress hormone cortisol and boost the immune system. Recent research published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, no less, suggests that walking as little as 15 minutes in woodland can improve one's mood and relieve stress and anxiety. So it would be worth taking a extra wander around this park. We're going to actually be walking on this video fairly direct route through to the main causeway, through the park, turning left here. We'll be going straight down towards Golf Road. Heading down to the old entrance to McDonald Park, we just turn left and walk along Golf Road a short distance before crossing the road and entering into Caroline's Well Woods. Caroline's Well Woods is named after Caroline Augusta Hamilton Gordon, who in 1885 married Arthur John Lewis Gordon, who lived between 1847 and 1918. There is a little well in the woods which is now dry with a stone plaque. Walking up this path then, we will see on the right the new housing development. And up there is a rookery. Rooks are very sociable animals. They've lived in that rookery for a good number of years now. We're looking round now and seeing the top of the woods. This is the path that we want to head down. We don't head straight up to the very top of the path we were initially walking along to the new housing development there. We just go down here. So if you head off down here through the trees, it can be very muddy this part, as can several parts of this walk. There's Millie heading off down the wrong track, not for the first time I have to say. We want this track here. Keeping close to the edge of this piece of woodland. And walking on through, we will see coming up right in front of us more or less a large stone wall. This is the stone wall of Ellon Castle Gardens, recently rejuvenated by volunteers in Ellon. Well worth a visit now in the summer, not least for the 19 or so yew trees which are the central feature. They're reckoned to be between 500 and 800 years old, those yew trees. There's a gate. That is not the gateway in. The main way to get into Ellon Castle Gardens in the summer is down in the deer park. We're going to head up to this corner of the wall here and turn right, keeping the wall on our right. And then we come to some of the damage that Storm Arwen has done, which prevents us walking any further along this wall. So when we get there, we'll just turn left and walk up a slight gradient to get towards the play area. So when you come to the tarmac footpath with the two iron railings there, that's where we turn right. But we just walk a very short distance along there till you just get past the waste bin, and then you can turn left there onto a desire line footpath formed by the treading of many feet and paws. And here we come through out into this play area. We're going to kind of head left and diagonally across it towards those tall trees in the distance. In the play area looking across, you can see the new Brewdog Brewery. And we're just going to be heading straight across there to that line of trees. Once we pass into the line of trees, we drop down, turn right. That's the track we'll be heading down. This can be a muddy track at times as well, so you'd be best off for this walk wearing sensible shoes, what people used to call sensible shoes. When you get to the bottom here, we can bear round to the right, or if it's really muddy, I'd head out onto the road there and turn right and walk down the pavement. However, you may wish to take in a bit more woodland, because at this point on the left we come to Balmacassie woodland. Head either down there or down there. Just quite a small woodland really, you could just walk around it in 5-10 minutes and you will eventually return to this spot here. This is where you want to arrive back at and head straight down that road. So that's the way down. Just where that van's coming out, we'd turn right there to this right turning. So coming up here on the right is the end of the little track that we would have gone down at the bottom there. Straight across there, the track continues. And we're going to head down there through the trees. Point bearing to the left, keeping the industrial estate on your left. Down this track. Now as you walk along this track, you will see a rune stone if you know where to look. We're walking a bit further down this track and it's just over this ridge. We'll zoom in on it in a moment. Have a proper look. It's a runestone. It's something I walked past many times before finally noticing it. In the summer, it is pretty difficult to spot, but it's much clearer here in the wintertime. There it is. Look. It records the reuniting in later life of 4 siblings who presumably all grew up in Ellon Castle. Their names are recorded in Anglo-Saxon runes, and some of the script is in Latin. They're all frightfully learned, of course. So we're just going to head straight on down that track. Looking up into these trees here, you can see quite clearly silhouetted several rooks' nests. The rooks as I say, will be nesting from mid-February, and they'll be rearing their young there till about middle of June, early July, when they'll all be fully fledged, and they'll disappear again when the nests stand empty. The nests are occupied. Rookeries can be occupied for several hundred years. As long as the trees are still standing, the rooks will come back each year. Highly social birds. They like living in communal groups, little rook villages, as I like to think of them. And they, like lots of birds, they mate for life. Highly intelligent. And something that a lot of people don't know about rooks is that although they do take farmers' seed when the farmers scatter it on the ploughed fields, they also provide a free pest control service, taking lots of grubs that do eat at barley roots and the like. Following down that track, straight across the main road and walk on down. The sewage works will be on your right, and you'll come to the new footbridge, which was built to help academy school children get to their new academy. We aren't going to be crossing over that bridge. We'll stay on the right, move to the right, and so the river is on our left. And just under the bridge, if you look across, you'll maybe notice a large standing stone. This is the old ford crossing. Here there was once a ford crossing raft. It was the main road up to the castle then, and at the castle, of course, you would be obliged to pay the toll for the privilege of using the ford crossing there. But that was the point to walk to in the countryside. You could see the stone from a way away, walk up to it and get across the river. That was the best place to get across the river then. So now we head on through the glebes. So the river is still going to be on our left, and this is a newly made up footpath.
Continue down this road. Sometimes there are paths off there to the left by the river, but by and large they just all went back towards this, so we just keep going straight down here. So what we'll do now is just head up those steps and turn left.
Instead of going up those steps, you could carry straight on with the river on your left and go under both the old brig and the new brig, and in a short distance you would come to Aldi Car Park again. But if you'd like to vary or prolong your walk a little, then you go up those steps and turn left, and turn left again onto the old brig, the one with no traffic on it, and walking across there, as you come down the other side of the brig, on your right you'll see a gap, and you can walk down there to walk under the new brig.
Just keep going along this track, right along the side of the river. Bear round, not to the left of those houses, but keep to the riverside path on your right. Lovely. And he's getting a bit ahead of me now. Look at that recall. God, superb. Good girl.
These are mallard ducks, which we can see all year round, regular bird residents of Ellon. And a little further upstream you can see a goosander. These are sawbills. They have serrated beaks for grasping fish, and they like swimming underwater. They can swim underwater for quite a long time. They always look like they're about to sink. They always seem to sort of float very low in the water. But beautiful birds. They like to float downstream and fly upstream. Walking on, we come up to the new footbridge, which we met earlier in the walk. At this point, you can either cross across and continue on down towards the viaduct, or pausing to admire these beautiful ivy towers, very valuable habitat for garden birds during the winter months especially. We can come up here and turn right onto the new bridge, the new footbridge. Walking across this footbridge, we can again turn right and cross over that little wooden footbridge over the Modley Burn and head back along through Gordon Park towards Aldi Car Park. Coming through Gordon Park, spot some jackdaws, more regular bird residents of Ellon. These are actually jackdaws, another bird that mates for life, very intelligent, but real love birds. They actually coo and warble to each other, make actual sort of baby noises to each other throughout their lives together. So here we see Gordon Park, and this is the path we've just come along from the Modley Burn, panning round the path that, if you just follow it straight down, keeping the river on your right, will take us to Aldi Car Park and back to where we started. Okay.